The moment we eased into this set, we had that feeling you get when everything just lines up, when the wind, the terrain, and your gut are all telling you the same thing. And sure enough, as soon as we started glassing the corn, it was obvious we'd found them exactly where we thought they'd be. Coyotes stacked up in the standing corn, all of them moving, shifting, and getting curious, and it went from quiet to absolute chaos in seconds. One turned into two, two turned into three, then four, then five, all popping out in front of us like a predator hunter's dream, and instantly the adrenaline kicked in because this wasn't going to be slow or clean, this was going to be fast. These were pups with mama hanging back, and you could see the curiosity overpowering the caution as one of them came in hot, committing hard despite the wind being just a little wrong. We stayed calm, let them work, let the setup develop, knowing that rushing a moment like this is how you blow a once-in-a-season stand. Shots rang out, fur flew, and in just a few heartbeats the field went from alive with movement to dead quiet, the kind of silence that only comes after controlled chaos. Even with the wind swirling and them trying to scent-check the call, shot placement and discipline made the difference, and every coyote that committed got anchored clean, proving once again that execution matters more than perfect conditions. As the dust settled, we took a second to scan because there's always one more coyote that tries to sneak in late, circling wide, watching from the edge, and sure enough one did just that, but we let him walk. Knowing when to hold fire is just as important as knowing when to pull the trigger. This set didn't happen by accident. Earlier in the day we'd already had a production-worthy stand where two coyotes were dropped simultaneously, incredible footage that would be hard to top, but this night somehow managed to do exactly that. The plan came together after days of talking about this spot, reading sign, listening to howls, and trusting instincts over convenience. Instead of pushing farther north or east where the wind wasn't right or where human activity could ruin the setup, we made a smart loop, kept the walk short, slipped down a fence line, and set up overlooking a massive, uncut cornfield stretching half a mile to the west. As soon as we ripped a locating howl, the response was instant, coyotes lighting up before the sequence even finished, confirming we were right on top of them. Wildlife activity was everywhere, deer moving, does reacting nervously, even tipping us off to where the coyotes were staging before we could see them with the naked eye. Fence posts became reference points, the camera struggled to keep up, and suddenly coyotes were pouring out of the corn like ants, all 5 of them committing in waves. One tried to circle from the north, another hesitated, but curiosity pulled them just far enough, and with controlled shots and clear communication, the stand turned into one of those hunts you talk about for years. Despite the wind not being ideal and the Coyotes clearly trying to scent-check the call, they still committed, and that says everything about how effective the setup and sound selection were. Precision shots anchored them at varying distances, from close-in chaos to longer, deliberate shots past 200 yards, and every one of them dropped clean. Standing over them afterward, it was clear these weren't small, weak animals, even if some were likely pups, because early-season coyotes can still be thick, solid, and tough, especially right before deer season when food is abundant and pressure is low. This is exactly why we hunt the way we do, picking our moments carefully instead of calling non-stop early season and burning out areas before winter even starts. It's about strategy, timing, and knowing when to strike so that December and thermal season still have something left to offer. As the light faded and we wrapped up the debrief, it was impossible not to appreciate how special a set like this really is. Multiple doubles, a triple, clean kills, real strategy and real teamwork, all coming together in one unforgettable hunt. You can't force nights like this, you can only put yourself in the right place, make smart decisions and let the coyotes make the final mistake. That's predator hunting at its best, and that's exactly why we keep coming back, because no matter how many stands you've made or coyotes you've called, nights like this never get old.